Hi, my name is Rajesh Thakur. In this video, I'll try to explain a simple and easy method to understand the basics characteristics of accounting. So let's begin. I try to interlink or try to provide an understanding with respect to the characteristics of accounting with their simple statement. So the statement is, it's just written, "Hi, I am Ronald Cizak." So how the characters of this statement is related to my characteristics of accounting. The first alphabet is I. So I stands for identification of financial transaction and events related to business. So please note, what I'm saying is the transaction has to related to the business. So this we try to understand with the help of an example. So let's say there is salary and wages paid rupees 10,000. Another example is rent paid rupees 15,000. Laptop purchase for personal use 60,000. Laptop purchase for personal use but has been paid through business rupees 60,000. Now out of these four transactions, which one we need to record in the business and which one we will not record in the business? So we see, so the first example was salary and wages paid. So salary and wages paid is with respect to the business, so we'll record this. The second is rent paid. Rent paid is also related to business. If nothing has been mentioned, it is assumed that it's related to business. But the third example is laptop purchase for personal use. Now this is the personal transaction not related to business, so we will not record it. But the fourth which I have mentioned is laptop purchase for for personal use but paid through business account. So now the payment has been made from the business account. That's why we'll record this transaction into the books of accounts. Now the second alphabet over here is M. M stands for measuring the transaction in money terms. So anything which we cannot measure in money terms, we will not record that. So if we say there's a resignation by a manager, so this transaction will not be recorded in the books of account because there's no money terms. What amount shall I record it? So anything which cannot be quantified or which is not quantified in terms of money, that transaction cannot be recorded. So we need to look at those financial transactions which can be recorded in money terms, right? Like in the example which I have given, in case of identification of financial transaction, there's a rent paid rupees 10,000, laptop purchase but paid through business rupees 50,000. So there's a transaction which we can measure in money terms. So therefore we'll record those transactions. And the third is Ronaldo. So the R stands for record. So all these transactions, financial transactions which can be measured in money terms shall be recorded in the books of account. So what is the name of the books of account? The books of account where all the financial transactions are recorded is known as journal. So the fourth is in the CZAC is C. C refers to classification. So we group all the transactions of a similar nature under one roof or under one table, under one bucket. So we try to categorize all the transactions of a similar nature and then record it so that it will be easier to understand what are those transactions where we need to classification. We can do classification of those. So the classification can be in terms of they can be cash account, they can be salary account, they can be rent account, they can be capital account. So all these transactions are classified under uh, same transaction under their head. So uh, there can be number of transaction you will uh, do in a business with cash, but all those transactions shall be recorded under one cash ledger. So in the same way, there can be a number of transactions with RAM. So you might purchase a number of things during a year from the RAM, but to record it, there can be number of transactions, like, so all those transactions related to RAM shall be recorded in RAM's ledger account. So understand how do we classify the similar nature transaction under one head. Now let's move to the other, S. So S stands for summarizing. In summarizing, what we do, all the transactions which has been recorded in the ledger, that we summarize and transfers to trial balance. So summarization is, let's say, let's take an example. During the year we have 100 of transactions with RAM. So at the end of the year, we see what is the balance lying in his account. So it could be possible they out of those 100 transactions, you have purchased something from RAM and then you have paid something. So there can be receipt, expenditure incurred, payment made, expenditure incurred, payment made. So out of those 100 transactions, what is the balance left? I mean, what is the balance amount which we need to pay to RAM at the end of the year? So that balance we compute from Ram's account and then transfer to another account which is known as trial balance. So trial balance is basically related to the ending balance of all the transactions which we have made during the year. So how do we do it? From the ledger, all the closing balance is being computed and transferred to trial balance account as a closing balance, so that we know each and everything with respect to whether it's asset, liability, capital, expenses, whatever the name of those, that all those appear in the trial balance as a closing balance. Because with the help of the trial balance, we then summarize. Summarization, trial balance is a one form, and thereafter we summarize it to profit and loss account and balance sheet. So this is how all the transaction get summarized. And the next in the CZAG comes A. A stands for analysis and interpretation. Now if we have made the profit or loss and balance sheet, we need to see what is the, because we need to see in the percentage terms, we need to see what are the timelines during which we have paid to the vendor, so during which the customer has paid to us. So all those analyses with respect to, let's say, what is my gross profit percentage, what is my net profit percentage, what is my debt equity percentage, what is my percentage related to, or the timeline related to, in how many days I have paid to the vendor, or how many days customer has paid to me. So all these analysis been done. What's the reason for these analysis and interpretation? That says the last C in CZAC, which says communicating. So all the financial transactions analysis that we do, we provide and communicate it to the users of the financial information or the financial statement. So who are the users of the financial statement? The users can be internal or external. The internal user is management, because management, taking into account the analysis and interpretation of financial transactions, they do take decision. Decision can be with respect to either starting a new project, decision can be with respect to taking loan, or decision can be related to shutting down a plant or coming up with a new product or changing product mix. There can be a number of decisions which a company or the management require to take, and all these decisions are taken based on the analysis and interpretation that's been done on the financial statement. And who are the external users? External users can be like the bank. If we apply for a loan from the bank, then bank will analyze our different ratios, different uh, uh, percentages based on which they will provide loan to us. So these are the like bank is one of the external user of the financial transaction. The other user can be employee also, because their bonus, their increment, they see based on what the financial transactions are. The similar way, vendor is also the one of the user, external user of the financial transaction, because they can see for based on the financial transaction that our financial health is good, and whatever in goods they have provided to us, we can pay them in time. So this is how the characteristics of accounting has been can be understood and you prepared for just to understand a one statement, that's I am Ronaldo Cizai. You can write from R any name if you like, but this is what I found a little fancy, like hi, my name is James Bond. So this is the same way we can use. Now there's another aspect and another learning which I'll provide over here. Before that, let me summarize it. What are the learnings? So if you see during this understanding of characteristics of accounting, you could able to understand two other factor also. One is journal. So what I mentioned is whatever financial transaction we do and record, then in the books, the name of the book where we record all these transactions is called journal. The second thing which I've mentioned is ledger. So all the transaction which has been recorded in the journal get categorized of a similar nature in ledger. So these are the two words which you understood. Third was is trial balance also, where I just touched upon that all the closing balances of the ledger is being transferred to trial balance, based on which profit and loss account and balance sheet is prepared. So this is the learning. If you see and try to understand that we need to go through, and as I promised you that I'll provide you a simple and easy way to go through, whether it's theory or whether it will be practical, and my focus will always be that whatever there will be theory, I try to link it with the practical so that you can understand clearly the linkage, and provide you more inputs, and provide it also make your confidence high, so that because you know what this theory is about and how it gets related to the practical aspects of the questions, right? Now, one more thing I would like to make you understand is this: the first 4 point is known as bookkeeping. So all these identification of financial transactions, measuring the identified transactions, recording and summarizing, classifying, sorry, they come under bookkeeping. And the next 5, 6, 7, that is summarizing, analysis, and communicating, is known as accounting. So this is a difference also between bookkeeping and accounting, which can be understood through this simple understanding of characteristics of accounting. I hope this video helps you out in understanding and clearing your doubts about characteristics of accounting. So if you like the video, please do share. I have also shared a Google form with this video, so you can please comment on that, provide me your feedback, and also if any of the topic or questions, issues you have uh, related to your study in accounts, please do write. I'll be happy to share my knowledge and my understanding to make you more uh, powerful in understanding all the accounting aspects. If you like my video, please do subscribe my channel also, so that the next video if can be reached to you without any efforts, and you can understand that very well. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.